Mo Salah's contract expires next summer. I know it, you know it, even the milkman knows it. The latest news is that Liverpool have made an opening offer, but the two sides are far apart. Did Mo force Liverpool's hand by going public earlier? Or maybe an extension was offered in private, but the contract length or financial side wasn't to Mo's liking? We have no idea. We do have a theory though as to why offering an extension is not straightforward. Are you crazy? We hear you say.
Salah has 26 goal involvements in 16 league games. It's his 8th season at the Merseyside and he's still going strong.
Perhaps he's better than ever. Hear us out. Mo Salah will be 33 next June. That's when his current contract expires. Rumor has it he wants a 3-year deal. We've analyzed how prolific Premier League players have been between 33 and 36 and how many minutes they have played. It's not a good look. We've only included players who scored 30 or more goals from the season they turned 33 and onwards. Because, let's face it, if Salah averages under 10 goals a season in the next 3 years, it won't be bang for the buck. Just 7 players managed to reach 30 plus goals before the Egyptian. But even if we only take the top scorer, Dylan Murray, he stands at 16 goals per season. Salah's worst season right now, 18 goals during the 23-24 campaign. So, should Liverpool be offering the Egyptian a new deal? We went ahead and looked at both sides of the coin. The case against offering Salah a new deal. How Salah compares to other players after they turn 30. We've already mentioned how very few rack up decent numbers after turning 33. Let's widen the scope and analyze how many were good between 30 and 33. That's when decline usually starts.
We'll start with Salah himself. Right now his numbers are incredible. 85 goal involvements in 86 league games.
How do the other Premier League greats measure up? There are only 7 players who have a better goal plus assist numbers after turning 30. Frank Lampard, Jamie Vardy, Didier Drogba, Peter Beardsley, Alan Shearer, Ryan Giggs, and Teddy Sheringham. This is where it gets interesting though. Only Frank Lampard, Jamie Vardy, and Didier Drogba are close to Salah. In other words, they were prolific in the Premier League between 30 and 33. All 3 still have a worse total, and Salah's current season isn't even halfway through yet. Their overall total is higher because we've included all goal contributions after they turned 30. Some of these guys, like Sheringham and Giggs, played until they were 40. Lampard and Drogba retired abroad, where they did some stat padding. Jamie Vardy is still playing, and so will increase his final number. What's absolutely mental is that none match Salah's numbers between 30 and 33. What are we witnessing is unique. The big question is whether Salah can keep up his numbers in the next season. A sharp decline happened before to others. There are cases where a player's form, however good he was before, sharply declined after they turned 30 or thereabouts. For some, it might be linked with getting a new deal and the peace of mind that comes with it. Mesut Ozil and Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang come to mind. The former went from 18 contributions in 33 games before the new deal to 12 in 26, to 7 in 24, and finally to 3 in 18. The story with Auba is roughly the same. 25 in 36 games before a new deal quickly became 13 in 29 and 5 in 14. More recent examples include players who weren't strikers, wingers, or even playmakers, but their form fell off a cliff practically overnight. Liverpool's Fabinho comes to mind, as well as United's Casemiro and City's Walker. In short, it's not unprecedented for a player to decline suddenly and sharply. Salah is reliant on pace. Will he adapt? Salah remains one of the fastest players at Liverpool. He was top last year and second behind Szoboszlai this season. This can be a concern. A lot of Premier League players failed to adapt after they could no longer demonstrate exceptional sprinting. Aubameyang and Walcott are prime examples. Will Salah be able to play a more reserved role if his speed qualities take a hit? Can he adapt like Harry Kane and Cristiano Ronaldo did? Will his output suffer considerably as a result? We can't know for sure until it happens. Should Trent's and Van Dijk's contract situations inform Liverpool's thinking? Trent Alexander-Arnold and Virgil van Dijk are 2 other Liverpool stalwarts with deals expiring next summer. How important are they for Salah? How many goals have they created together? Here's a stat to blow you away. Only Bobby Firmino and Sadio Mane have combined with Salah more often than Trent. Virgil has devoleated with Salah just 7 times over 8 seasons, but he's a center back after all. However, his progressive distribution is important for the team as a whole, as well as for Salah personally. A couple of seasons ago, Arsenal set up to specifically deny Van Dijk time and space on the ball, and still lost that game. Trent's link-up with Salah is much more prominent, especially since the former started taking up positions in central midfield last season. He's directly assisted Salah 10 times in the league and is literally the best defender in the Premier League in this respect. Arnold sits on 61 assists. 2 ahead of his teammate Andy Robertson, and 8 ahead of previous record holder Leighton Baines. In fact, only KDB, Salah and Son have had a better assist tally since Trent's debut. Arnold has created 420 chances, 112 big ones, in 8 seasons since his debut at Liverpool. We are betting out at top dollar that Salah's output will go down without Trent behind him. How much of an influence Salah has on his teammates? We are talking link-up play here, of course. Firmino, Mane and Trent interlinked with Salah most. Darwin, Jota and Gakpo are right behind though. However, most participation in their goals does not particularly stand out. Here's how many league goals he created for those 3. Salah also assisted Trent for 4 out of his 15 goals, so their link-up is valuable. But even Darwin has already caught up with it number-wise, despite joining Liverpool only a couple of seasons ago. In short, Salah and Firmino and Salah and Mane were outstanding duos. Most current partnerships are not much to speak about. The case for offering a new deal to Salah. He goes to great lengths to keep himself in shape. First of all, Salah does a lot of things off the club's training ground to be physically fit. This includes weightlifting and Pilates to power both quick twitch muscles and slow movement, and cardio too. The Egyptian also has 2 gyms, a hyperbaric chamber to accelerate the spread of oxygen to his muscles, and cryotherapy equipment to reduce muscle swelling. Secondly, Salah has a strict diet. He drinks no alcohol as a Muslim, but the diet goes beyond this simple action. Salah has his own chef and is said to consume broccoli with every meal. This quote from Mo himself, however, sums up his diet the best. I prefer broccoli, sweet potatoes, fish, chicken, and always salad. When I indulge in a great restaurant in London, I prefer sushi. I eat pizza once a month at the most. I love hamburgers, but I hardly ever eat them because afterwards, I feel heavy. Finally, and least exciting of all, Salah's genetics play a part. Here's what fitness expert Isabella Murray told Daily Mail on the matter. Genetics play a huge role when it comes to our body, even our ability to have a six-pack, she explained. We all have the rectus abdominis muscle, which is divided into the left and right sides. This muscle group is what gives the six-pack look. However, your genes determine the length and size of it. That's why some really lean people with really low body fat percentage have different abs. Some never have abs, some have an 8-pack, 4-pack and a 2-pack, etc. For Mo, his genetics allow him to have the six-pack look in addition to the above. Salah can be the exception to the overall aging rule. If we haven't outlined it clearly enough, Salah is already up there with the best. In 2.5 seasons since turning 30, he's outperformed Premier League greats like Ian Wright, Dennis Bergkamp and Steven Gerrard. Drogba and Giggs will surely fail this season too, and Beardsley and Shearer are in the risk zone. And it's just the beginning too. If Salah stays even for one more season, he can topple everyone else. Some of these guys played until 40, while only Shearer retired relatively early at 35 years of age. It's clear that Salah can be unique. He's already cemented his place as a Premier League great. Giving him a couple more seasons can elevate him, at least numbers-wise, to be remembered as the absolute best. Salah is central to Liverpool's attacking output.
Liverpool has scored 37 goals this season. Salah had a direct hand in 26. That's 70%, almost 3/4.
Last season, this number stood at the rather more moderate 32%. Even during his first record-breaking 17-18 campaign, Salah contributed exactly 50% of all Liverpool league goals. We went ahead and checked how much other clubs have been reliant on their star players in recent times. For example, Arsenal's Bukayo Saka had a hand in 50% of all the Gunners' goals this season. Erling Haaland's record-shattering 22-23 campaign saw him contribute to 47% of all City's goals. Cole Palmer for Chelsea is responsible for slightly over 50% of their goals this season, and for 43% last campaign. Harry Kane in his last season for Spurs was a tad below 50%. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang at the height of his powers for Arsenal contributed to 36% and 43% in 18 and 19-20. Alexis Sanchez had the same 44% in his best season at Arsenal. We even checked Bruno Fernandes in his best United season, 40%. As you can see, Liverpool's current reliance on the Egyptian this season has left unhealthy in the rearview mirror. They will have to find other ways of scoring goals even this season because Salah is sure to suffer a dip in form at some point. But this reliance is a matter of fact. Take Salah away next season and Sloug's Liverpool might be in deep trouble. Can Liverpool offer a short extension? It's good for 2 reasons. The risks are minimal and a transition period can be orchestrated. The minimal risks are pretty self-explanatory. Should Salah suffer a sharp decline, Liverpool will simply wave him goodbye in 2025. Also, putting up with exorbitant wages doesn't sound that bad if it's just for one season. As for transitioning, right now Liverpool will simply be unable to replace Salah's output. A new player, however good, will require time to settle in, and none of the current players seem capable of matching Salah. In fact, we might see Curtis Jones debutize if Salah leaves. We don't have anything against Curtis Jones per se, but if he suddenly starts raking up 30 plus goals plus assists, we'll be massively surprised. The elephant in the room is, will Salah accept a short deal? He might look upon it as disrespect after everything he's done for the club. A one-year deal also creates uncertainty in the minds of everyone. Will Mo be there next season? Will he start exploring other options as the season goes by? Will his concentration levels drop and output suffer as a result? Dennis Bergkamp comes to mind. He was on a one-year rolling contract for at least his last 3 seasons at Arsenal, and he wasn't too happy about it, criticizing the club for taking too long to offer yet another one-year deal, and generally perplexed at why so little faith was put in his abilities after performing at a high level for many years. Here's what the Dutchman said before finally being offered his final deal in 2005. "It seems every season it has to be like this, and it's a bit frustrating. I said in November I wanted to stay. The contract situation is always in the back of your head. We would like to sort it out as soon as possible." Liverpool must tread carefully not to end up in the same situation with Salah. Judging by most public comments, however, the Reds have already made a mess out of these negotiations. Wrapping up. Many players tail off in their 30s. For some, the decline is sharp and irreversible. Others ride out into the sunset more gracefully. There are different factors involved as well. Some rely on pace and do not adapt after losing it, like Walcott and Aubameyang. Others give it too much physically, like Alexis Sanchez, and burn out. Others adapt their approach and become perhaps even more useful to their team, like Ronaldo and Rooney. It's hard to put Salah into any bracket. He's yet to show signs of his decline. In fact, he's unmatched among all-time Premier League greats since turning 30. And Liverpool's reliance on him this season goes beyond the benchmark 40 or 50% his counterparts at other clubs showed. We set out to improve that a new deal for Mo is not straightforward, but the evidence actually points to the contrary. Right now, we are dealing in hypotheticals when it comes to Salah's decline. He might lose his pace and it might affect his output. He might be less of a force without Trent behind his back. He might feel relaxed and tail off after getting a new deal. And then there are cold facts. Salah is one of the best of all time after turning 30. He does rack up insane numbers and shows no signs of slowing down. He is integral to Liverpool's current setup and amazing season. Here's another hypothetical, which doesn't look too far-fetched. Salah just might turn out to be the best attacker to ever grace the Premier League. He might emulate Ronaldo in terms of longevity and output. Even if Salah doesn't repeat his current, insane even by his own standard season, he can easily lose 30% of his efficiency and still be integral to Liverpool. It will simply be a step down from irreplaceable, his current status at Merseyside. Let's wait and see what decision the club and Mo will make. What's ahead for Liverpool if the Egyptian leaves? Write down below. See you soon, know the ball.